When Jesus came to Jerusalem, many people were excited, while others were worried about him. And some criticized him. Many welcomed Jesus on his donkey with all their might, but others tried to boast off in front of Jesus, and some even gave difficult questions to Jesus just to embarrass him. When Jesus came to Jerusalem, it was just before Passover, and so some people were worried that Jesus had come to stir a riot with the people that will come to the temple in time for the Passover. When Jesus came to Jerusalem, he went to the temple. People asked Jesus questions about his authority from heaven, about paying taxes to the emperor, about resurrection, and about the biggest commandment. While they were questions that they couldn't answer themselves, they were asked more to put Jesus in a sticky situation. But Jesus answered all these questions with words of wisdom. In fact, Jesus began questioning the crowd about such issues. People were unable to answer any of Jesus' questions, so they were not able to question Jesus anymore. Not only was the temple back then huge in size, it was extremely decorative and ornamental. The disciples, who had lived only in Galilee all their lives, were just blown away by the sheer size and flashiness of the biggest and fanciest temple in Israel. Perhaps it's only natural that they wanted Jesus to share their awe and be as mesmerized by the temple as they were. Then, just as when Jesus was leaving the temple with his disciples, a disciple said to him, "Look, teacher, what massive stones! What magnificent buildings!" The temple in Jerusalem at the time was called Herod's temple because it was built by King Herod over a period of dozens of years. Each stone that made up the temple reached a few meters, so it's no wonder that the disciples would be curious as to how such big stones were moved, sculpted, and laid on top of another. But Jesus felt differently about the temple. Just a few days ago, Jesus had rebuked and sent off those who were selling things in the temple. For Jesus, the temple is a place that reflects people's hearts towards God. The architectural expertise and the size of the stones were not important to Jesus. So that's why Jesus called the temple a house of prayer. "Do you see all these great buildings?" replied Jesus. "Not one stone here will be left on another. Every one will be thrown down." And as Jesus said, the temple in Jerusalem really did get thrown down, without a single stone left on top of another stone. There are so many churches today that are humongous in size and spectacularly decorated. Many people talk a lot of things about how a church looks from the outside, just like how people did in Jesus' time. But all this will eventually be thrown down and vanish. One thing we must remember as we look at the church is that while the grass may dry up and flowers wither, God's words are immortal and eternal.